What's going on? It's Keinan Briggs. Today's pep talk, the phrase is called "so what?" And what I mean by "so what" isn't in the aspect of like who cares, right? It's in the aspect of the perspective of so what is next? So I forgot my spikes. So what? My ankle is really hurting right now. I jammed it on one of my jumps. So what? I don't I don't have any marks, so I can't explain how good I am to a coach to get a scholarship. So what? What does this so what mean? The way I see so what is very simple. So what's next? So you're sore. Got it. You're sore. So what's next? What do you plan on doing with the soreness? Are you going to complain about the soreness or are you going to compete with the soreness? Either way, it's up to you and you are right. If your ankle is jammed and you can't compete, got it. So what's next? Well, the answer to the so what concept is you. You decide what it is that's going to happen. You decide how you're going to react. You decide how you're going to respond. You decide what's going to happen now that this has happened. So for example, there are a lot of athletes that ask me the same question. How do I fix my step phase? Or how do I keep my speed, get my speed faster? And there's solutions that are there. Here, you might want to get in shape. You might want to train harder. You might want to ask your coach, whatever the suggestion may be. Now, the so what concept is, so you're not as fast as you want to be. So what? So what are you going to be doing to improve your speed? It might be asking your coach how to improve. So you fouled every single one of your jumps at nationals. So what? Well, so what is I get to figure out what was in the way and how to resolve the issue. Focusing on the so what means that you get to take accountability in every single aspect of everything that you experience in your life. So the good thing is you can change it. The bad thing is that it's your fault. All things that you experience in your life are your responsibility because they're happening in your world. Now, obviously, we could debate that and say, well, some things in my life that I can't control. I look at it as I can control them. If I have a belief system that there are things that I cannot control, then there are things that can happen randomly. And I would have a belief system that things happen, then I have no control. It is what it is, right? So I'm hoping that things will always be in my favor. The second I switched my mindset to it's my fault for everything, right? Then it's my fault that I succeeded. It's also my fault that I failed. So whenever things are in my way, I get to be responsible and I get to change those things. If I feel that I'm not mentally prepared for a track meet, I could ask a coach to come support and help me. But out of my control is what if the coach isn't available? What if the coach is busy doing something else? Am I going to sit here and say, well, I couldn't get myself mentally ready for the track meet because my coach wasn't there? That's putting the blame outside of the source, and the source is me. I'm the one competing. So what I'm going to do is realize that I can respond to the situation and say, my coach is in there. I have a coach in my life. So then my coach knows me and he or she and I talk about how to get myself in the right mental state. If they're not available, then what? So what? So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is I'm going to say everything my coach would typically say to me, to myself, so I can go compete. Because if I don't say this and rely on the coach who did or didn't say anything, then I might have something that might not work out. So what I challenge you all to do is think about the things you have in your life, good and bad, right? And ask yourself, so what? I have a ride to practice. So what? That means I get to get there early and stretch and warm up correctly and get gas, because those are luxuries. Those are things that you created. What if you get a failing grade on one of your tests? So what? Well, what's going to happen is I get to figure out what to do to get my grades higher. I get to call for a tutor. I get to call for support. I get to communicate with my parents about, you know what, these are some things that I have going on, whatever the process is. So my suggestion to you is always ask yourself, so what? And then you get to respond with the answer. One last thing before I go is what I did for myself. When I was training 4 to 5 hours per day and riding my bike to and from practice, then to and from work every single day, there were days where I would run and I would feel like throwing up. I was tired, fatigued, I couldn't do anything else. And then the thing I decided to tell myself whenever I was like feeling like I wanted to give up, I would say, this is what it feels like, period. If I didn't want to deal with this, or if I don't want to have this happen to my body and feel like throwing up and dizzy and all those things, then leave, stop. Why do I have to do it? I didn't. So I decided this is what it feels like. My body's cramping up. I'm sore. I'm tired. So what? This is what it feels like. So whenever I ask myself, so what? My response to myself was, this is what it feels like. And my subconscious mind, my ego, would just be like, well, all right. And that was it. So hopefully this landed. I know it was kind of long-winded, but hopefully it landed, supported you, and I will see you guys next time.